What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are having a great one. Hope everything's going well, even though 9 times out of 10, hey, I know that's not the case. Hey, you got to keep on thriving. You got to keep on getting better. You got to keep on living. We're back. We're back after a week off, I guess you could say, which wasn't really a week off because we were traveling. We were doing a lot of crazy things. We were seeing a lot of crazy things, and we were just living, right? First thing up, we went to Iceland and then Barcelona. Iceland was the photography Super Bowl for photographers. I was so scared because I was like, I need to lock in. I need to get these shots in. They need to look amazing. I only get one chance, which not really because I can always go back. But this was the biggest chance that I got. And let's just say, hit it out of the park. We'll do a carousel real quick. So 1, 2, 3. So as you can see, great photos overall, and I could have even done better ones. Honestly, I knew I could have done better ones just with the environment that I was in. I wish I had brought the drone. I hit myself in the head for it every day. Why didn't you bring the drone? I don't know. I really don't know. And a big thing too was the F roads were closed since it was during the winter time frame, which I wouldn't want to drive on those roads either because they're basically the roads that go inward into actual Iceland, and that's where you see a lot of the crazy stuff. And I just we couldn't. It was impossible, especially with the rental van that we went with. It just wasn't a good call at all. But nonetheless, Iceland was incredible, and those shots testified it. And we're gonna be posting another, I guess you could say B-roll sort of Iceland video that's gonna have a little bit of narration, some motivational stuff just to add it in there. But aside from that, that's really the trip. And then Barcelona was a great little escape as well. Just check out the city, just walk around everywhere, and just experience Barcelona, experience that new chapter in the life, right? So aside from that, we're getting into the updates. We're getting into talking about, the idea of talking to yourself, and then we're going to get into visioning what your future should hold. For updates, we are currently still on the same offer that we're working on, and that's something that I can't wait to get back into. I'm most likely going to be dialing on Monday and starting off from there. We're slowly transitioning to a closing role, hopefully in the future, and it just depends, playing the cards right, just getting myself out there, trying to push that agenda, because we have a huge change of events that just transpired, that if, or when, not if, when it comes out, when it works, and once I announce it, it is going to change a lot, and I cannot wait. I'm being very secretive about it because I don't want to, say it and then, the universe doesn't grant me it or whatever it might be. But let's get into it, right? Aside from the updates, everything's been good. Everything's been great. Now we're back, and we're back to the same schedule. And it's Christmas time, so a little bit of things are different where I'm gonna actually have days off to actually work on stuff. But I know I keep on going back to updates. Anyway, talking to yourself. It's a really weird topic because nobody wants to get caught talking to themselves, especially out in public. But why do I say talking to yourself is an amazing thing? It is amazing because of the fact that you are treating yourself as, a best friend. You never want to see your best friend down in the dumps. You never want to see your best friend doing bad. You always want to see your best friend winning. So if you're treating yourself as your own best friend and as your own coach, you're basically winning regardless of what you do, because you're constantly talking to yourself. You're constantly having a dialogue, having a conversation. You're constantly feeding those, those little programs into your mind, to have into your subconscious, basically, to target what desired outcome, what desired lifestyle you want. And the only way you're going to do that is by talking to yourself, by talking to that person, that inner bitch that you have, that you want to get out and you want to just get rid of, because I feel like there's two different things. And I've said this in the past before. There is a bitch boy and then there's a boogeyman. And the boogeyman, throughout our life never got any reps. And what the boogeyman is basically that person inside you that is meant for greatness. And that person inside you hasn't had many reps throughout his life, just because in the beginning you are not thrown at harsh, challenges, unless if it's your circumstance, right? but aside from that, you are more or less coasting until you leave high school, right? And keep in mind, this isn't for everyone. So some people might have a harder lifestyle, and that's totally fine. That might make you even more badder than motherfucker. But the boogeyman doesn't get that many reps because we always search for comfort. So the bitch boy comes in. The bitch boy is the biggest thing because it's basically all the habits you've grown throughout your early stages of life that you haven't been able to eliminate. And it's only just because you just been living, childhood, you're a kid, you're just chilling out, you're doing everything you want to do. But that's the difference, right? The boogeyman is basically the thing that you need to start actively pushing towards. And when you start actively, pushing on it, and you start actively feeding it what it needs, you start to realize that you establish your own form of lifestyle. You establish your own authentic lifestyle. And by that being, an example, when I could say the first thing that absolutely awoken the boogeyman was when I started running. Because in the beginning, I tried relying on somebody to run with me, and that person ended up lying to me about not wanting to run, which is fine. But that sparked a whole, screw this, I'm gonna make it work. He didn't believe in it, I'm gonna believe in it. We're gonna make this work, and this is gonna be something that's gonna be beneficial. And a year and a half later, I'm still running. And basically I started finding ways to make it even more crazier or more challenging, running shirtless in cold degree weather, extending my miles longer, just stuff like that, doing marathons. That's the boogeyman getting fed. That's what he needs. He needs that, because then your ambitions build on top of that, and then you start dreaming big, and then you start seeing things in a bigger light, and then you start believing so much that the people around you are absolutely clueless, because they're going to be like, what is this guy on? You know what you're on, because you've been constantly feeding that boogeyman. You've been feeding that energy, and that energy will take you farther than just using the bitch boy and being comfortable every single day. And that is the reason why. And in regards to an example on how, aside from the running, after every run I do, I have a conversation. I walk for about 10 minutes and I talk to myself. I kid you not. I talk to myself. So usually after my run, I'm like, either if I had a good run or a bad run, I'm calling it out. Like, look, man, you had a bitch ass run. It was terrible. I don't know what you're on, but you need to get your shit together, because we're not about to do this today. You're acting like, everything's fine. It's not. You need to wake up and you need to get after everything you need to get after. That's the dialogue that I've been having, right? And so when I have good days, though, I'm like, dude, I am so proud of you. I am proud of all the things you've accomplished. I am proud of what you've been doing so far. You are setting the example. You are being the difference that you need. Those are the conversations I'm having. But you can't just hide that little, the mess ups. You have to expose that, and you have to talk about it. You have to actually get it out, and you talk to your other self. And that is the power. It is so powerful, because the rest of the day, either you did terrible for that run or you did something bad in the morning, you talk to yourself about it and you shit on yourself, right? You shit on yourself, but you're constructive. You're a coach. You're coaching yourself, and you're allowing yourself to be like, okay, we're going to make this better. We're going to have a good rest of the day. And this is the reason why. Or we're having already a great day. Let's absolutely kill it. Nothing can stop us. Nobody can tell us anything. That's when your confidence comes in. That's when everything works, man. I'm telling you, it is insane. It is insane. And, a lot of people don't see it because a lot of people don't try something at least hard, say in the beginning of their day, to give them the confidence to absolutely kick ass the rest of the day. That is why I highly recommend do something hard in the beginning of the day, because once you kick that challenge's ass, you are on 10. Nobody can touch you. Nobody can tell you anything, and you can kill the rest of the day. And you at least know if you had a crappy day after that, you did one good thing that day. That is the power of talking to yourself. All right. It's going to be a long episode. Visioning your future. And this can kind of go back and forth, because you can talk to yourself about your future, and it's also, the same thing. It's a double-edged sword. But I was talking to Warren Mulvey, the GOAT. Love my dog. He's a real G, man, and he helped me out so much. And it's in regards to the Affinity Sales Training Group that we're in. And like I said, I'm gonna keep on pushing it till my ears bleed or whatever. That group has absolutely changed my life. I'm not even trying to sound, corny. That group has straight killers, straight hustlers, straight motivators, straight results. That group is incredible, and Warren is a testament to that. But we had a conversation not too long ago, and it was basically a meeting one-on-one, and we're kind of going over, like, what do I want? Because I had a conversation in the past, and I was very, very skittish. I was very, like, unsure of anything, and I was like, this conversation, I even had everything set up. I had the whole game plan on what I want for next year, and I had everything right. And I told him, I was like, yeah, I mean, my goal hopefully is to, and I'm not going to say it because I don't want to tell you guys, my goal is hopefully to XYZ, to get to XYZ. And he was like, that's great and all. I mean, do you feel like what you're doing right now is going to get you there? And I was like, not really. And he's like, then why haven't you made any changes to get there yet? And I was just like, that's a good question. He was like, because I had limiting beliefs in myself about how much I can make off of sales and how much I can make as a closer, even with being in the military. And he was like, I mean, wouldn't it make sense though, if you want to obviously change your trajectory, to focus on closing and, make a good amount out of it and have a lot longer of time to prepare for it and do that instead of just cold calling? Do you feel like you're going to get anywhere? And I was just like, you can't really say anything, right? You can't say anything at all. And so it was a moment there where he told me that, and my trajectory changed about personally. I was like, if I really believed in what I want to do, and we're going to get into the future thing. If I really believed in what I want to do, it would already be done, and I wouldn't even have to worry about the small little things that might come into play, the small little challenges that I might face, because I already know it's already happened. Like, it's going to happen. I'm doing it right now. Like, there should be no stress, because I feel like a lot of us, when we're doing something big, we get scared because we're just like, oh, man, this is so much, and there's little, things that get thrown in our way, and then it's just all a mess, and then, you're not even thinking about your beliefs, your goals, what you actually want to achieve, because you don't believe in it. If you believed in it well enough, none of those things should bother you. They shouldn't bother you at all. And let's go to the visioning about the future. Visioning about the future is so incredible. I started doing it now to where I'm gonna botch this, but it's basically you're talking in future. You're talking to your future self, like about your future self in present tense. So I know that's kind of a botched thing, but in regards to that, you can write down, say throughout your day in the morning, right? You write down, I am going to XYZ. Today is great because XYZ. Today is a success because of XYZ. I feel a sense of determination to get to XYZ. You write those down every single day, and you start your day off so well, because mentally you are doing predictive programming, which that's what, our channel and our group has it for, where we write those out. But you're basically programming your mind to already find success throughout the day. Like, you already see your success in the morning, and you just have to act on it, and it'll come into fruition. And then all those little tiny things, like I'm grateful for, they do so much. They really do. You keep your mind sharp, because sometimes you go through life and you go through your 9 to 5, and you might have a really crappy day, and then life just hits you, and then you're just like, I can't get out of it, I can't win. And using those is great. But visioning for your future, when you're talking about long-term stuff, I was talking to Warren about it, and he asked me, he's like, he was like, what would Matthew do in about a year? Why would he do it? Is there, a reason to it? What is a result of what he's doing going to, and how is it going to impact? And I basically say Mendoza is wanting to create his own offer in order to, establish his own brand and push past his boundaries. And Mendoza is also working towards hitting his 3K a month mark in regards to profits. And while he's doing that, he's also residing in Tampa, Florida. Mendoza just moved into his new apartment, and he's able to look at the balcony and see all of Tampa, and he's setting up his, table. He's setting up his desk to basically put all his stuff there and start getting on calls and start closing deals. Mendoza right now is averaging around 4K a month in sales, and he's constantly pushing or constantly trying to find better ways to make it more efficient. Examples like that. So it's basically like you were saying, you were saying for yourself, and I only say Mendoza because I don't like really saying Matthew, but you're saying, for example, my name, Mendoza is already at XYZ and is currently pushing past whatever boundary. Reason why Mendoza is pushing past boundary is this. How is Mendoza mentally feeling during this time? Is Mendoza, on the right path? Does he feel he's on the right path? Stuff like that. So you start visioning yourself in the future. I think what'll make this easier too is I'll also do a 3, 2, 1. So what we have here is basically a roadmap thing that I write, and this is kind of explain, the future / present tense thing that I was talking about. But basically, you want to, obviously, wherever you see yourself in a year, right? You sort of write that out, or wherever you see yourself in a certain category, you write it out as if you already did it. It's already there, and this is, present tense but future, right? So as an example, for January, I put on here, Mendoza joined a new offer in January where he's closing on making an extra 2K a month for his part-time service after work. And as an example, he's still, in the military job during the day, but once he gets home, he basically gets his bookings lined up all the way through the time that he has to go to sleep. And during his lunch hours at the other job that he's at, he calls his leads and follows up through with them on email to make sure that they'll be there for the day. And I got more specific, and I basically said Mendoza calls leads based in UK and USA for an offer that has on target earnings of 5 to 10K. He went away from cold calling in that month to pursue closing as his new route. He did that so he can get a head start on closing and being able to prepare himself for Tampa. And then I go into the mentality, why he feels like that, what steps would he actually have to take, stuff like that, and asking myself those questions. But we'll transition back to the video. So what you would have seen there is basically the vision that I kind of had, where I write it down and I say it all out. But like I said, that, it helps a lot. It really does, because you stop in your mind thinking, just going on autopilot when you're trying to work on your goals. Because sometimes you put your goals up there for, next year, and you might be 4 months already in and you haven't changed anything to actually get to there. And so you're basically questioning yourself like, okay, if I'm doing this, what is Mendoza doing at that level already? What is Mendoza doing at the next level? What is Mendoza doing at the next level? And so on and so forth. And that's how you're able to allow yourself to get that clarity, get that, peace of mind to know that, look, I'm going to go through roadblocks and that's how it is. It is what it is. But, everything's going to work out. That's how it is. I already won, basically. We're just doing it. But yeah, man, a lot to talk about today. It was a beautiful conversation. 17 minutes, probably 16, depending on it. But aside from that, I'm not going to close off any longer. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day. And for anyone in the future, right, they're going to see this. They're going to be like, man, Mendoza always walk, he's wearing nice jackets and stuff like that. I'm a jacket guy. I love antique jackets. So if there's anybody out there in the future that wants to do a collab and be like, hey, by all means, I'll sponsor you, whatever it may be. I can't wait for that to be a future thing where I'm just sitting here. I'm already back in Tampa. I got my little studio in the back, and I have all my stuff there, all my antiques, and I'm wearing nice fits every day. And it's just from people that I've collabed with and I've showed love and supported. But lastly, Def D's project is dropping. Iceland project is dropping. This project is dropping. And just some mini shorts throughout the rest of the time frame. But aside from that, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. And from the top of the world where boundaries still don't exist to the bottom of the depths where life still lives, do you dare to dream? As a matter of fact, do you dare to take the next step? I'll see y'all later.